This video is based on the insights of Dr. Andrew Huberman, so let's get started. Have you ever tried to change a habit but felt stuck? Like something in your brain just wouldn't let you? What you may not know is that this struggle isn't a lack of willpower. It's neuroscience at work. Your brain creates and reinforces patterns based on how you feel, act, and react. This is called neuroplasticity, the brain's incredible ability to reshape itself. Now imagine if you could use this same mechanism to rewire your brain and create life-changing habits. Sound too good to be true? It's not. Scientists like Dr. Andrew Huberman have shown that by understanding how the brain works, you can literally change your behavior patterns. Today you'll learn why some habits seem impossible to change, how to use neuroplasticity to create new neural pathways, practical strategies to get started right now. So if you're tired of fighting your habits or want to unlock your brain's potential, stick with me until the end. Before we get started, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment. Which habit do you want to change the most? It all starts with neural pathways. Think of them as trails in your brain. The more you repeat a behavior, the stronger the trail becomes. It's like walking across a lawn. Over time, you create a visible path. This is the foundation of habits. Now, what reinforces these pathways? Dopamine. This is the reward neurotransmitter. When you do something that your brain interprets as positive, whether it's eating chocolate or checking social media, dopamine is released. This release creates a feeling of pleasure and makes your brain want to repeat the behavior. That's why bad habits are so hard to break. They offer immediate rewards. But here's the thing. You can reroute these pathways. Studies show that by identifying the triggers that lead to a bad habit, you can create new, healthier neural pathways. As we mentioned, habits are behaviors that are reinforced by triggers. So the first step to changing a habit is to understand what triggers it. The trigger can be something external, like your environment or time of day, or internal, like your emotions or thoughts. Dr. Huberman explains that the key to identifying triggers is to notice patterns. For example, do you always crave something sweet in the afternoon? Do you feel like procrastinating when you're faced with difficult tasks? Do you find yourself constantly checking your phone because of anxiety?
Science shows that self-awareness is key here. Once you identify your trigger, you can begin to create a pause between the trigger and the response. This pause allows you to consciously choose how to respond. The next time you notice your trigger, try writing down what you're feeling or thinking. This activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious decision-making, and weakens your automatic behavior. Once you identify your trigger, the next step is to redirect your behavior. This is where an important concept that Dr. Huberman emphasizes comes in: habit replacement. The brain doesn't respond well to simply stopping a behavior. Instead, it needs something to replace it. For example, if you have a habit of snacking while watching TV, replace your snacks with something healthier, like fruit or even sparkling water. If stress makes you bite your nails, try holding a stress reliever or practicing deep breathing. Reward is key. Your brain needs to feel that the new behavior is rewarding. Dr. Huberman points out that even small gestures, like mentally congratulating yourself, can reinforce change. Imagine you want to replace the habit of checking your phone before bed. Put your phone in another room and read a book for 10 minutes instead. When you repeat this for a few weeks, your brain will begin to associate nighttime with relaxation, not with cell phone stimulation. Here's the secret to truly changing your habits: neuroplasticity. This is the process by which the brain creates new synaptic connections. The more you practice a new behavior, the stronger that new neural pathway becomes. Dr. Huberman points out that 3 factors enhance neuroplasticity. 1. Repetition. Consistent practice is what makes a new habit automatic. 2. Quality sleep. During deep sleep, the brain solidifies those new connections. 3. Intentional focus. The more you focus on the change, the more efficient the process will be. A common mistake is trying to change multiple habits at once. However, the brain can only focus on one big change at a time. Dr. Huberman calls this cognitive load. When you overload your brain, it tends to fail and revert to old patterns. The best approach? Prioritize. Choose one habit to focus on for the next 21 to 30 days. Once it's solidified, move on to the next. If you want to start exercising and improving your diet, pick one first. Start with daily walks for 2 weeks. Then add small changes to your diet. This gradual approach is more sustainable and effective. Chapter 6. The Power of Positive. Reinforcement and small wins. One of the most effective strategies for rewiring your brain is to use positive reinforcement. Dr. Andrew Huberman explains that every time we celebrate an achievement, no matter how small, our brains release dopamine. This release strengthens the new neural pathways associated with the behavior we want to maintain. But here's the interesting thing. You don't need big wins to activate this mechanism. Studies show that small, consistent improvements are even more effective than abrupt changes. That's because the brain prefers gradual progress that it can process and repeat. Practical example. If you're trying to create a running habit, don't force yourself to run 5K on the first day. Start by walking for 10 minutes and at the end, mentally celebrate by saying something like, "Great job today." This feeling of achievement increases your motivation to continue the next day. Another tip from Dr. Huberman is to connect your new habits to simple rewards. For example, if you want to study for 30 minutes, allow yourself to watch an episode of your favorite TV show as a reward. This way, the brain associates the effort with the reward, making the habit more enjoyable. Dr. Huberman points out that by creating new patterns of behavior, you change not only how you act, but also how you think about yourself. This effect is called identity change, and it happens because the brain begins to align its actions with its new perception of who you are. You've come this far, and that already shows that you're committed to your evolution. What you've learned today, based on the work of Dr. Andrew Huberman, is that changing habits is not a matter of willpower, but of strategy. Your brain is plastic. It's always ready to be reprogrammed, as long as you give it the right stimuli. Now, a challenge for you. Choose a habit to work on for the next 21 days. It can be something simple, like waking up 15 minutes earlier or replacing an unhealthy snack with a piece of fruit. Write in the comments which habit you chose and how you intend to implement it. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who is also looking to improve their life. Your journey can inspire others to reprogram their brains and transform their habits. See you in the next video.